Impactful introduction. Imagine waking up and realizing you are completely alone. No land in sight. No communication. No food and no idea if you'll survive the next day. Now imagine living like this not for hours, not for days, but for 438 entire days, lost in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. It sounds impossible, doesn't it? But this is a true story. Based on the book 438 Days by journalist Jonathan Franklin and verified through multiple interviews with José Salvador Alvarenga himself, as well as reports from oceanographic and survival experts, this is the longest documented survival story at sea ever recorded. Who is José Salvador Alvarenga? José was born in El Salvador and grew up in a humble and harsh life. Later, he migrated to Mexico seeking better opportunities. On the coast of Chiapas, he worked as a fisherman, well known for his resilience, courage, and experience at sea. But on that day in November 2012, everything was about to change forever. The day everything changed. On November 17, 2012, José and a young assistant, Ezequiel Cordoba, just 22 years old, set out on a routine shark fishing trip. They carried basic supplies. Fresh water for 2 days. Some biscuits, rice, and simple food. A small radio, GPS, and fishing equipment. Ignoring storm warnings, driven by the need to work, they set off in a small 7-meter fiberglass boat, without a cabin and extremely vulnerable. The perfect storm. Just hours after leaving the coast, a brutal storm struck. Giant waves destroyed the engine, broke the radio, and damaged the GPS. Without an anchor, without communication, and with no engine, they were completely adrift, at the mercy of the Pacific currents. The first days adrift. In the first days, they survived on what little supplies they had and began improvising fishing techniques. José showed incredible skill, creating hooks from bits of metal, fishing lines from boat fibers, and makeshift nets. When the fresh water ran out, they depended entirely on rainwater. When it didn't rain, they drank their own urine to survive. The psychological battle. The psychological impact was devastating. To stay sane, José and Ezequiel invented an imaginary tamale and orange shop to distract themselves and relieve the despair. José also tracked the moon phases to try to maintain a sense of time in the middle of nowhere. The first loss. Ezequiel collapsed both mentally and physically. He refused to eat turtle meat or birds, believing it was morally wrong. Without the nutrients to survive, he grew gravely ill. After weeks at sea, Ezequiel passed away right before José's eyes. José kept his body on the boat for almost a week, talking to him, praying, and begging for him to wake up. In a heartbreaking yet symbolic act, he held a simple funeral and released Ezequiel's body into the sea. The survival routine. José adapted to a brutal routine of survival. Catching birds, turtles, and fish with primitive techniques. Drinking turtle blood as hydration when it didn't rain. Fighting severe sunburns, freezing nights, open wounds, and constant shark threats. Facing periods of delirium, hallucinations, and deep depression. For 4 days, José seriously considered suicide. But his faith in God and the memory of his family kept him alive. When time disappears. Time ceased to exist. He lost any sense of days, months, or years. Physically, he became unrecognizable, skeletal with a massive beard, wounds all over his body, and eyes severely irritated from salt and sun. Mentally, he shifted between moments of clarity, despair, and hallucinations. The endless drift. The boat drifted over 6,700 miles, 10,800 kilometers, carried by currents confirmed by experts from the University of Hawaii. He endured tropical storms, massive waves, strong winds, and ocean dead zones where no fish could be found. Despite the conditions, the boat never capsized, something ocean experts later described as a structural miracle given the boat's size and design. The miracle at Eben Atoll. On January 30, 2014, José saw something different: land. For the first time in over a year, he saw solid ground. It was Eben Atoll, part of the Marshall Islands. Barely able to move, he used his last strength to paddle toward the shore. Locals, shocked by his appearance, immediately contacted the authorities. The rescue and return. At the hospital, doctors documented severe malnutrition, extreme dehydration, deep wounds on his skin, eye damage from prolonged salt and sun exposure. Against all odds, José survived. Former U.S. Ambassador Tom Armbruster publicly declared, "There is no reason to believe José is lying." José even passed a polygraph test that further confirmed the truth of his incredible story. The scars that remain. Though physically recovered, José carries deep emotional scars. Extreme fear of open water. Post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Depression and anxiety attacks. He also faced criticism and even a lawsuit from Ezekiel's family, who accused him of potential cannibalism, something José firmly denies. Nonetheless, his story continues to inspire millions worldwide. Final reflection. When life pushes you against the impossible, remember José Salvador Alvarenga. Inside all of us is a strength greater than any storm. A will to live that surpasses every physical and mental limit. But now, I ask you, if it were you, could you have survived? Sources and verification. This story is based on verified sources, including the book 438 Days by journalist Jonathan Franklin, who spent months interviewing José Salvador Alvarenga. Reports from The Guardian, CNN, BBC, National Geographic, and multiple reputable global media outlets. Statements from oceanographers at the University of Hawaii who confirmed the possibility of the ocean drift. Official statements from former U.S. Ambassador Tom Armbruster. Verified public records, medical reports, and polygraph tests conducted after José's rescue. Every effort was made to ensure that this story is accurate, true, and based on real, documented events.